All right, so last video of the night, I'm going to be reviewing and critiquing, I guess, Jideon's conversion story. If you don't know who Jideon is, he is a really popular YouTuber. I think he has like 7.76 million subs on YouTube. And he got famous doing like comedy vlogging and prank content. Gotten into a little bit of controversy here and there. Nothing too crazy, I don't think, but also just kind of like toxic content and kind of a toxic person. But last year in September 2023, he announced that he would be retiring from making that kind of content and turning towards Christianity. And since then, he has been holding strong, it seems. Pretty much all of his streams are him just like reading the Bible, stuff like that. I have not watched a lot of what he's been doing at all, so I don't know. I reviewed Young Don the Sauce God's conversion story, and it was pretty horrendous. It was pretty transphobic, homophobic, and it seems like he mostly just converted to be able to have more control over his family, control over the outcome, to make sure that his kids don't turn out gay or trans, and that is probably the worst reason that you could turn to Christianity or religion in general. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a series going through some of these large creators' move towards Christianity and moving towards making Christian content. And I definitely don't want this in any way to be like bullying or harassing them. I want to be fair with my critiques as a former Christian, and I do want it known that I support people's I support people having their own personal beliefs. I'm definitely not like a militant atheist or anything like that. I do, however, encourage people to think critically about what they believe. Don't just hop onto something because you feel lost, something like that. Don't feel obligated to ever believe any particular thing. And be careful about believing things that are like objectively harmful to other human beings and to yourself. And if you do believe those things, try to reconsider those, deconstruct those, because you can always have faith. You can always be in any kind of religion without having to adopt the more harmful aspects of it. So I'm not really sure. I picked this video. It's a little bit longer than some of his other ones talking about Christianity. I think this might be a talk that he gave at a church maybe, but this is going to be his testimony, and we are going to be giving a review of it.
So the video that you guys are about to see, me and brother Josh, where we're doing our usual Discord Q&A. If you guys want to ask a pastor certain questions, I highly recommend you guys come into our Discord Q&As. Link down below. We do those Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But one of you guys, one of you subscribers, Lil Ziggy, his father was a pastor, is a pastor, Pastor Vaughn. And after he saw me give my life to Christ, he wanted his father to reach out to me. Even before I gave my life to Christ, he wanted his father to reach out to me to try to get me to come to their church. And Pastor Vaughn, he had joined the Discord. And after you guys see all the footage, you guys will kind of get the story from there. But shout out to Space City Church. I'll leave their information right here if you guys want to go visit there one day or help them out. But yeah, I got to give my testimony. All praises to God, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Peace.
All praises.
What's good, my brother? How you doing?
Hey, when I'm at the Pearland football games, people be like, "You look like Jideon." Everybody be saying I look like Jideon, man. I'm tired of being people saying I look like Jideon. I've been praying for you, brother.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. I
was praying for you before you made the change. I've gone on your Instagram and invited you out to youth events because my kids. Show my kids. Let me show you my kids. This
What's up, y'all?
They keep talking to me about this brother named Jideon. I've been watching your videos. I said, man, if this dude ever catches fire for Jesus, he's gonna change some lives, leading to the kingdom.
Something that is really strange to me, and something I saw a lot in Christianity is um like wanting to, and like Scientology does this a lot, but like wanting to get like high visibility individuals to come over to the faith, wanting to get celebrities, stuff like that, so that they can have like a large impact. And it's kind of predatory and exploitative in some ways, but I don't know.
Them this Sunday, if you got time to stop by our congregation, we'd love to have you, brother.
Brother, I got nothing but time, bro. I'm gonna add you right now.
He do look like you, Jideon, though, for real, though, bro.
How you doing? Did I warm it up for you? Amen. Let's show some honor in this house. Stand to your feet for the man of God.
I dig the branding on the shirt, though. I dig it.
Y'all give it up for Brother Jideon one time, man. If you need me, just whistle.
Yes, sir. How you guys doing today? I'm not gonna entertain you guys like Pastor Vaughn. I can't talk like that, but I want to give a huge shout out to Pastor Vaughn, and especially his son, for reaching out to me. For you guys that don't know who I am, my name is Jideon, but my YouTube name is Jideon. I make content. I was making prank videos across all my social media platforms. I have over 20 million followers. I made my living doing content. I'm 22 years old.
I will say this though. I do respect, like if this is genuine for him, I mean, I respect it. Like he has consistently changed up his content. He could have kept going that way. And like from what I've seen, he hasn't been getting into like really crazy stuff like Big Nick has. It's just been reading Bible on stream, and to some degree, I gotta respect that.
All praises to God. I just purchased my first home where I 100% own it, and I'm able to take care of my family. But my spirit was just always calling me to come back to Christ. And I grew up in a church home with my two parents. I grew up in the church, but once I was able to get on my own feet and do my own thing, I chased after my own heart. And in Jeremiah, it tells you how the heart is naturally wicked in Jeremiah 17. And then in Proverbs, Solomon was telling us to not lean on our own understanding, because, in our minds, we can always make an excuse for something. In our minds, we can always make.
So I'm getting the feeling right off the bat that this is going to be a much more biblical based and like traditional kind of testimony versus Young Don's. To me, his was not like, to me, like most like Orthodox Christians, and when I say Orthodox, I don't mean like Eastern. I mean like Protestant, and Orthodox just means that you are within the like agreed upon majority beliefs. So like within the Orthodox Protestant group, like I the majority of I don't think would consider him a Christian just based off his testimony. There just wasn't really like repentance and faith there, and it was really more of just like an intellectual decision that he made based off of his desire to, based off of like homophobia, transphobia, and his desire to move towards a more conservative kind of lifestyle, I guess.
Make something that is bad not seem that bad. And that's what I would always do, I would always psych myself out and tell myself, oh, I'll be okay doing this, or I'll be okay doing that. And the more and more success I got, the more and more empty I felt, where, I could post a video and in a week it gets 10 million views, and, making what a person make.
So look, if you are, no matter what you believe in, if you don't have like a strong foundation of like worldview, of beliefs, whether it's like secular humanism, whether it's Buddhism, whether it's Christianity, if you don't have that, and then you don't have a clear and defined purpose for your life, something that you feel is your purpose, and it can be, you can believe that it's, religious, and you believe that serving God is your purpose, or if you're a secular humanist, you believe that maybe maximizing your happiness and the happiness of those around you is your purpose, or doing things that are good for society and good for the individuals around you. Maybe that's your purpose, or and your purpose can change throughout life. I think it's important to be flexible with your purpose, because sometimes you can have a certain purpose and it just doesn't really. All right, we got to tell TikTok Live we'll stay here. There we go. If you don't have those things, you can start to feel very empty in life. And at that point, really anything can come in and fill up that emptiness in you. There's a lot of Muslims that have stories like this where they just feel really empty and like nothing is fulfilling. And there's a lot of religions like that. And the narrative that the religion gives is that only what we have, only what we're offering, only what Jesus is offering, only what our religious figure is offering can fulfill you. And in reality, that's just not true. It's just not true. What it can do is give you a sense of purpose, which is important. It can make you feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourself, which is important. It can give you community, which is super important. Religion does a lot of things that are beneficial to individuals and to society, but that doesn't mean that you have to be in that religion. You have to believe those things to get those benefits. You can be secular and create good community. You can be secular and have good purpose. You can be secular and feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourself. It's very easy to do. And so that's where the benefits of religion and Christianity come from, not from anything supernatural, not from the religious figures within the religion, whatever it may be.
In an entire year off of one video, but my soul just felt empty, and that's a horrible feeling, because when you don't have something, you at least know what you need to get. But when you have everything and you still don't have something inside of you,
I will say too, church can be a wonderful place. Church can be a wonderful place where people are super encouraging and uplifting to others. It can also be a very toxic and nasty place where people are judgmental and will tear you down behind your back. But yeah, like there's just there's something great. There's a great feeling you get when you stand up in front of these people and are so vulnerable, and they are being so supportive back at you. That is a great feeling.
It's a feeling I can't even describe. And in the end of Ecclesiastes, I always harken back to this. Right? Solomon, he was the wisest man in the land. He had the most successful kingdom. And when he went off and ventured into things that weren't aligned with God, the kingdom got split in half. Everything went down. And at the end of Ecclesiastes, he said, this is the matter of the whole thing, to love God and follow God and keep his commands. And when I started looking at myself and how I was back then, I realized what that whole was, is that I didn't have God in me. I wasn't choosing God in my life. In Revelations 3, it shows how Jesus knocks at the door, but he's a gentleman. He doesn't just...
I will say I appreciate that he is backing up a lot of this with scripture from just like a Christian standpoint, Christian point of view. Shows that he is serious about it, shows that he has spent time studying the Bible. And I will say that just spending time alone studying the Bible is not really going to give you a good idea of what Christianity actually teaches. You would need like a book on systematic theology. You'd want to study church history, stuff like that. Like if you just go and read the Bible by yourself, you're going to come away with a lot of beliefs that aren't what Christians actually believe, though.
Open it. He doesn't force you to worship him. He doesn't barge in. He knocks and he waits. But the more you ignore that knock, like any true gentleman,
that gentleman, just that kind man standing at the door and knocking. He's not going to force you. But if you don't open that door before you die, he's going to burn you in hell forever.
The knock's going to get quieter and quieter. But the thing about God, our loving God, is he's always going to still be out there for us. And, I just give all praises to the Most High that he waited for me. And I was I was coming back from Huntsville with my girlfriend, and we were driving in this Uber. And the whole Uber ride, the lady didn't talk to us. We just was driving. It was an hour and 30-minute drive. When we get back to my house, out of nowhere, the Uber driver didn't want to just talk to us. So she asked us, she said, "Do you guys believe in Jesus?" And of course, I was like, "Yeah, of course." And then she asked me another question. She said, "If you were to die right now, would you go to heaven or would you go to hell?" And I just had to be honest with myself, you know? It's like, you can know Jesus, but do you have Jesus? Because in James, it tells us how even the demons know Jesus and they tremble at his name. So if even the demons know Jesus, that just lets you know that knowing him isn't just enough. You have to have him. You have to partake in him.
So yeah, I mean, so far everything he's saying is theologically correct. You know, I'm trying to critique this from the point of view of an atheist, an ex-Christian, secular humanist who is not anti-religion, but also from the point of view of a Christian, as someone who used to be a Christian. So kind of like a dual role there. But from like a Christian perspective, all of this is pretty standard and definitely biblical.
And I wasn't partaking in him. And I was just honest with myself, and I said, I would go to hell. And that conversation just lingered in my head. It's a replay, just playing over and over and over again. And I just was really just looking at all the stuff I had, and I made a pros and cons list in my head. And I was like, if I give my life over to Christ, cons would be, I want to get as many views because I want to be able to do certain things. If I give my life over to Christ, I'm not gonna be able to hang around certain people that I was hanging around because that doesn't align with Christ. And the con list was just going all the way down where it was just, you make a decision on anything, if your con list outweighs your pro list by a lot, you're gonna go with the cons. Like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But then I went over to the pro side, and it was easy. I would have everlasting life with the Father, like. And just that one thing, having it on the pro side, I just felt the conviction in my heart to just, you know what, I got to give this all up. And so I went on stream, and I wasn't going to even say anything about my journey. I was just going to go on there, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to be a hypocrite or nothing. And then, like, you know, this stream, I'm good. But then maybe 2 or 3 down the line, I'm acting up, and people are like, well, what about that first stream? So I was just on there chilling, and just out of nowhere, I just had a conviction in my heart, because when you really have Jesus in you, you just can't help but spread it. So I gave my testimony on stream, and right after I got done talking, I knew that I was born again. I knew that my old life was gone. I knew there's no going back, and I really feel as though I had the Holy Spirit in me, because to just kind of throw everything away.
There's something to be said about like a transformative religious experience. For me, and it's something that I felt as well at one point, at many points in my life actually. But during my deconstruction, you start to see that it's just not unique to Christianity. Almost every religion has, as its basis or as like a justification for its truthfulness, this idea of a religious experience or a spiritual experience, of like newness of life, something like that. And so, to me, it's much more explained in a naturalistic way than any kind of supernatural way. And so for me, that's not like a convincing reason to believe in any one particular thing. Not to detract or take away from those experiences that people have. Those can be very important. Those can be life-changing, and I wouldn't want to take that from anybody. For me, though, it's not convincing as far as believing any kind of supernatural narrative about reality.
In front of millions of people, because it was circulating all over the internet where people were saying, Jideon's giving his life over to Christ, and then you're going on different forums, seeing what people are saying, And I'm seeing people saying, oh, he's crazy. Oh, he's going through a mental episode, da-da-da-da-da. And then I'm looking at it, and this is my own Reddit. This is r/Jideon Reddit. So these are supposed to be my biggest fans, supposedly. But everybody's in there saying, oh, he's crazy. Oh, he doesn't know what he's doing, da-da-da-da-da. Jideon, I hope you get some help mentally. And, that's a crazy thing to tell somebody that's trying to give their life over to Jesus, and you're telling them to go get a mental evaluation. And I was really thinking to myself, I was like, man, did I make the wrong decision? Is this wrong? But then in the scriptures, Christ said, the world loves its own. So the reason they loved me was because I was with them. Your friends are gonna love you. If your friends do drugs and you're doing drugs with them, they're gonna love you. But the moment you're like, man, I wanna put the pills down, I wanna put the weed down, I wanna put the needles down, you're not them anymore. The Bible says, can two not walk together on the same accord? You have to be on the same accord to walk with somebody. That's why everybody is in here today, because you all have your walk with Jesus. Jesus also said, the world hated me first, so what are they gonna do about you? It also says that.
What were what was the apostles' favorite car to drive? Honda, because they were all in one accord. Okay.
That the servant isn't better than the master. We're all Jesus' servants. We're all slaves for Christ. So if they hated Christ, why wouldn't they hate us? And those verses really touched my heart to where it made me know I was making the right decision even more. So now, about a week into my testimony after doing this.
Listen, I think that we are just primed to be wary of people and things that are different than us, or that become different than us. We don't like people of other religions. We don't like people of other races. And we can obviously get over that and get through that. But I think it's a very lizard brain kind of thing. Not that we have the devil inside of us and we can't stand being around a Christian, I guess. I don't know.
I'm moving different. I'm talking different. And then I'm seeing the earthly things I built start coming down, where views start going down. People that would usually hit me up all the time, calls are getting fewer and fewer. And it's a hard thing when you're withdrawing yourself from something. It's like, it's like withdrawals. When you get off alcohol, you get off drugs, you get that itch to go back. But I just always remember God. I remember the pro side of my list, everlasting life. And we just have to realize, especially my youngins out there, man, I know you guys are young and you guys have the rest of your life ahead of you. But then also, on the other hand of that, you don't know when God's going to call you home. Nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. And
we are all Jesus servants. I never knew how to spell the possessive of Jesus. I believe it's just an apostrophe after it. I think it's the same with Moses as well.
I feel that that's the one thing in life that we always feel like we're guaranteed is tomorrow, because that's the thing we always get. Every time we wake up, we get a new tomorrow. Sometimes one thing might not happen for us, but we always get another tomorrow. And so we always assume, oh yeah, I'm always going to be here. I'm always going to be here. But that's not the case. And so you have to live your life like it's your last. But living your life like it's your last isn't doing what your earthly flesh wants. Getting everything off your checklist. Oh, let me get this done, then I'm going to serve Christ. No, living your life like it's your last is you're going to be going home to Christ tomorrow, but you're living your life according to what he's established out for us, according to the gospel. And so for all my youngins out there, I'm going to be honest with you guys. When you follow Christ, it's not going to be the popular thing. It's really not. You're not going to get any brownie points from anybody. You're not going to have the cool kids hit you up. None of that. But the Bible says that we're a peculiar people. The saints are peculiar people. Peculiar means strange, different, set apart. A person should be able to see that's a Christian right there without even having to know who you are or to know anything about you or what your name is. They could just see a light shine from you. And so, and you also got to think about it. That light shining off of you is going to shine on something else. So something that's in the dark is going to get light up. So you might not know it. By following Jesus, you're helping somebody else and you don't even know. Either some of us are planters of seeds. Pastor Vaughn, he's a waterer of the seeds, but God gives the increase. So you never know what your life is going to entail. So you have to live it according to Jesus. My main thing is I have this platform and I was able to post any and every video I ever wanted promoting anything. But now that I'm promoting Jesus, it's a problem with people. And so, but now for the first time ever in my YouTube career, I really feel like the content that I'm posting now isn't for people, it's for God. It's for God.
Listen, like I said, I gotta respect this because someone like Big Nick, I don't buy his bullshit for a goddamn second. To me, what I see is someone who failed as a mainstream entertainer, who failed as a content creator, and maybe there is some genuineness to his conversion, to his Christianity, but he has absolutely turned it into a grift and into a way to punch into a very niche market. So if he can't be super popular as a mainstream creator, at least he can get a hold of this certain very kind of niche demographic by making very sensational kind of content. Jideon, I don't see him doing that. He's just been super chill, reading Bible on stream, and you know, I have to respect that. I do, because he was a very very successful content creator before.
I appreciate you guys for having me. Huge shout out for Pastor Vaughn, and I need that song after service, man. It was fire. I loved it, y'all. But thank you.
He's had every opportunity.
All right, we're not gonna hang around for this altar call. Not interested in that. Look, just from that story there, not much to critique from like a Christian point of view. That I think pretty much any Christian would consider that a good testimony, a good conversion story. Like, if this is genuine for him and he feels like this is making his life better, I'm not gonna hate on it. Obviously, any kind of like transphobic, homophobic kind of beliefs, I'm not gonna be down with that at all. That's just not necessary to being a Christian. You don't have to believe that shit. But yeah, this was a much better conversion story than Young Don's. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know Jideon that well. I never followed him before. I haven't followed him that much since. I've seen a little bit from him. I've seen like a debate that he tried to do after Christianity, and it seems like he knows his shit, and it seems like it's genuine for him. And if that is a positive thing in his life, I think that religious belief should be a personal thing that people take on for themselves, and you can definitely talk about it with others, encourage others to follow your beliefs, but I think pressuring people into that or pushing that onto them is not a good thing to do. And so if it's something that he has taken on for himself, I support that. I do.